What's up guys, Alex Myers here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing my partner's new fight stick, the Pro FS by Victrix. Now, I know what you're thinking. Myers, you're partnered by Victrix, you're just going to show the stick. Well, no. I'm here to give you the most honest review while also letting you guys know what to expect. So we're going to be breaking down the input lag, the ergonomics of the stick, and just really breaking down what makes the Pro FS the Pro FS. With that said, let's get into it. So let's talk about the most important thing about the Pro FS, the input lag. The input lag on the stick is the fastest on the market, fastest legal speed. You may be wondering, what is legal speed? Like, why is it legal? The reason being is that Sony caps off their lag speed at a certain point. So anything beyond that is considered illegal from a Sony standpoint. So when Victrix and I were talking about the stick originally, I've been helping them since the beta and just trying to give them my input. But I tried to tell them about my Brooks board that I had in my Mad Catz TE2 Plus. But the thing about the TE2 Plus, the Brook board, was that it bypassed the legal speed by being a mod, right? It's not licensed by Sony, but it's like it's just something Brooks does on their own. It's not illegal when competing, but it is somewhat expensive, and it adds to my cost of my stick. Originally, my stick cost about $250, but when I added the Brooks board and the modding, it ended up being about $450. Now, if you do that, it'll be about maybe around $350 to $400 if you buy, like, say, a Razer Panthera, but you have to go through finding a good modder, you have to go through buying the board, getting like the shipping done, and all that can be a big hassle. But with the Victrix stick, we've been able to whittle it down to the fastest speed, very, very close to the Brooks speed, while still maintaining being a legal stick in Sony's standpoint. So by going through the Victrix stick, you cut off all the hassle, and you can just go straight to the manufacturer, go through Victrix, and get a nice stick in pristine condition. You don't have to mod it, you don't have to mess with it, you don't have to risk destroying your stick and all the money that you put into the stick. You get what you paid for with the Pro FS, and what you're paying for is an advantage. You're paying for the advantage, you're paying for quality. So the price may be a little much to some people, but I assure you, if you're trying to get the fastest legal response speed, and if you want something close to the Brooks board without spending all this extra money and without just the hassle of it all, I highly recommend getting the Pro FS. It's really the best input lag you could get out of any stick on the market, and I'm really loving it right now. One thing that I can't pub enough about this stick is its ergonomic angle. Look at how like nicely slanted it is on the bottom, right? This is not just like a random design. It's for a purpose. Now, for example, if you look at most other sticks, I'm going to use my old faithful Mad Catz TE2 Plus as an example. If you look at how my fingers have to be positioned, right? It's not on a slant. It's just straightforward. It's completely flat, making me have to elevate my wrist to, or not just my wrist, it's not really my wrist, it's more my hand. See how it's elevating my hand? It doesn't rest flat like it does with the Victrix. Because of the slant on the Victrix right here, I'm able to rest my palm more like this, while still being able to hover my buttons where I need them to be without like hitting other buttons. But with this stick, I always have to like keep my hands elevated, and it's really uncomfortable. My physical therapist even told me, like, you should not use this stick, or you shouldn't use sticks in general that make your hand have to elevate like this. It's like a claw almost, you know, and this is actually really, really bad on your hand, and I didn't know until I got injured, so I figured I should warn you guys. But if you look at my Victrix Pro FS, look at my hand, it's like completely flat. And it's because of this slight little angle we have right here, this little groove. It allows your hand to rest at like, it rests at like the perfect angle to where you can rest your fingers, right? And just having that angle alone, I can't tell you guys enough, especially as someone that has been injured from, like, I've had tendonitis, for some of you who don't know, right? And this stick has been just like a real blessing to help me recover. It's helped me practice more. It's helped me not be in as much pain as I felt with my Mad Catz TE2 Plus or even the Razer Panthera. I've tried them all, and I can't really pub this angle enough. it just has been really helping me as I train. And if you're someone like me who plays a lot, who's trying to, you know, get better, trying to win these tournaments, I can't stress enough how you need to take care of your hands. I see so many young people like just grinding on their fight sticks, and I'm like, dude, like I've been there and I know you're gonna get hurt. So if you want to prevent something like what happened to me happening to you, I cannot recommend the Pro FS enough, simply for its just ergonomic angle. It's just been a real blessing, and it's been helping my tendonitis in my hands like crazy. I can't recommend it enough, just solely based off that. Now, if you watch my good teammate Justin Wong's video on the Pro FS, you might notice that my stick is a little different, right? The only real difference in my stick is that I have the Sanwa stock here, which means you can get one that doesn't like lift up like Justin's, but I also have these nice gamer finger buttons, right? If you know me, I'm all about like using whatever I can to elevate my performance, right? And this is something I like to pub a lot, and I can't recommend the gamer fingers enough. They have less travel time than Sanwa's, and they last way longer. Like their life expectancy is like 25 times that of Sanwa or something. It's a crazy amount compared to the Sanwa. If you're looking at this from a health angle, one thing that's also really good about the gamer finger buttons is that it's a lot easier to activate your button. So naturally, it's easier on your fingers. You have to really smash the Sanwas down like really hard to get them to work. Even if you don't consider it very hard, you are having to hit them pretty hard to activate, whereas my gamer finger buttons are like pretty much like if I just barely tap it, it's gonna go off. So this is another thing I would highly recommend for your stick. Some people don't like them because they aren't as clicky as some buttons, but they're not as clicky as the Sanwas. A lot of people really like the clickiness to the Sanwa buttons, which I understand, right? It's the arcade feel. You want that feeling, right? But because of the metal chassis here, you can really hear the impact of the button, right? Sanwas really like go off louder on the stick, and so do these gamer fingers. You can kind of hear them. You get the clickiness that I think some people would want. So I highly recommend checking out gamer finger buttons as well to make your Pro FS that much better. Now for the downsides, as you can see, there's no touchpad on the stick, and I know it's a bummer, but this stick is made in mind to give the competitor the best advantage possible, and not having a touchpad is not going to interfere with that. Hey guys, also one last thing about the touchpad. I know there's no touchpad, but there is still a reset function. If you look right here on Pro number 3, I'm going to hit Pro 3, and you see how Sakura and Cammy are right here. If you hit Pro 3, it'll reset, and if you want some sort of a touchpad function on at least Street Fighter V, what you can do with the Pro 1 function here, I figured this out the other day, you can save your status and just hit Pro 1, and it'll reset everything. You keep your meter. Say instead of like having to like push your touchpad over here and there with other sticks, you can just use Pro 1 to make sure you're staying where you want to stay, and just make sure you save the status, and then replay, and then now you can just hit Pro 1 and it'll just keep replaying. And this is a makeshift way to make sure you're resetting your stick. Secondly, the metal chassis is a bit cold, but it's because the metal is just reflecting the environment you're in. So say you're in a cold environment, like a cold esports studio or arena, it's gonna be cold. Now, even if the stick is pretty cold at first, you can warm it up with your hands, and it's not that bad. What I do is I just use like my whatever I'm wearing, and I just kind of like I just try and warm it up a little bit. But besides that, it does warm up fairly quickly, and the coldness that you feel in the beginning should really go away quickly, and it's not too big of a deal. Another good reason that it is a metal chassis is like, even though it does make it a bit cold, a good thing about it is that this metal chassis really is made in mind so the competitor's getting the most out of the stick. If you look at my buttons, I can't move them, right? If you're used to normal sticks with like the plastic framing and stuff, they always move. And sometimes you'll mess up and get a button to come out that you don't want just because like the button's jittering so much. But I really like how, because of this metal chassis, the buttons don't move. You press a button, it's coming out. It's not going to slide out. It's not going to move anywhere. Something's not going to unrattle in the bottom. your worst case scenarios aren't going to be happening here. So despite the metal chassis making it a bit cold to the touch at first, I don't mind that when I get the ease of mind knowing that my buttons aren't going to be rattling around like say they do with my Mad Catz T2 Plus. I don't know if you can see that, but as you can see, like, I'm able to rotate my buttons, right? This does not happen on the Victrix stick, and I'm really, really glad that they went that direction with the stick. And yeah, that pretty much does it, guys. I try to be as honest as possible. I want you guys to know what you're getting into. The stick is a little pricey, but I do believe it makes up with everything that it provides. The ergonomic angle, the input lag, the metal chassis keeping your buttons in place. It's really on the cutting edge of what I think fight sticks will be in the future. And I hope you guys enjoy the stick and check it out. And yeah, I really enjoy this stick. I can't pub it enough. I'd use it even if I wasn't on Victrix. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And yeah, I really, really look forward to you guys trying out the stick. Please let me know what you think when it drops. That's it for me, guys. Alex Myers signing out. Peace.